Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Brandon Johnson from Used Boats TV, and today I'm going to take you for a ride in a beautiful 4Winds SL 262 bow rider. This video is to take you out on this boat and show you how to work it. I sell boats here at Heartland Marine, so be sure to check us out online. But the intention of this isn't to necessarily sell boats, to show you how to operate them. So we make a lot of videos about how to work boats, how boat reviews, how marine financing works, boat insurance, just all that stuff. So do me a favor while you're here checking this out, please consider subscribing by clicking down below. So let's get on the water and have some fun.
But first, I'd like to introduce our channel. I've been passionately selling boats for over 19 years. The purpose of this channel is to help you and your family enjoy boats and boating just as much as my family and I enjoy it. So thanks to the help of my staff here at Heartland Marine and my sons, we've been able to successfully upload hundreds of boat reviews, instructional operation, help, and how-to videos. I don't ask for anything in return, except for the opportunity to possibly help you find a boat when the time comes. So to stay up on everything we upload, click that subscribe button below and stay tuned.
Nice. So now, once we have our 4Winds SL 262 in the water, because it's got to be in the water to run, and we have our plug in it, of course, underneath the aft port side companion seat, we have a battery switch. So we turn it to emergency start and fire up the boat. The alternator in that position is going to keep all the batteries charged. If we're going to stop and cove out, we'll just switch that to on. That'd just be a single standalone battery. That way, if we go to start it, click, 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 so we can just switch the other battery. Also located in here is the ship system switch, so we're going to flip that up to on. In order to not be redundant with the videos, down in the description below, I'm going to include a link to a bunch of different videos, like how to operate tilt and trim, what to do when your boat won't start, how to talk boats, tie knots, dock boats, drive boats, just boating basics, tips, and tricks. But this is a multi-port injected engine, so our kill switch is on, boats are neutral, batteries are up, so we're just going to turn the key, beeps to tell everybody get out of the way, turn the key, it fires right up. Now, shifting, it's really easy on the dual prop. We just push in the trigger, that engages it into gear. There's a definitive catch for forward. Back to neutral, we only have to lift the button up once again to engage it into gear. Neutral's not a gear. Reverse, definitive catch, throttle range beyond that. I've had a lot of people that are excited to drive. God, these seats are comfy. And as they accelerate, they have the finger on the trim up button, which brings the outdrive out of the water, and that's not good because when we take off, we want it to be trimmed down. So what I want to do in this part of the video is to show you the gauges and what the buttons and switches do, and then I'll actually take the camera from Billy and we'll drive this bag out. They don't blow out. So right here, this is our, I don't even know what that is, direction we're going, west. See if it does anything. Mode depth, so it's going to come on to read. Right here is our fuel gauge. So in order to declutter the dash, they have a 4-in-1. So fuel, volts, oil pressure, engine temp, speedometer, tachometer, tilt and trim. Tilt and trim, well, trim gauge, it's not tilt and trim, it's not old. So see, that's coming up with the needle here. Now look at the wave coming up behind us. See, we're pushing that water up. Now we'll trim back down. And you gotta love this hardtop too. We also have tilt steering, so we can kind of set this where we want it by engaging the button down below. Buttons and switches, our navigation lights, that's our red and green built in up front, the white light on back. In the middle's off, anchor light stopped at night. Courtesy lights are right here. Dimmer, that dims like the gauge lights. Accessory, God knows sometimes at nighttime these accessories will turn something crazy on. Even though it doesn't have captain's call exhaust, we have a button for it if we were to add it. Docking lights, there's no wiper, but there's a button for that too. Let's try these. These also light up when they're on. Our stereo's right here, and it just comes on with the key. It's a CD player. So let's turn that up. Source.
There you go.
Talk radio. Whoa. We need to turn the bass down, but it sounds good. Okay. Now what I want to do is take the camera from Mr. Bill here, and we're going to go for a boat ride. So what I want to do here is drive the boat with you. We always want to start off with a dead stop. We'll go ahead and tap reverse just so that we stop our forward momentum. So the purpose of our test drive for the water purposes is we're going to find a good cruise speed. We're going to see how she planes, and we're going to see what the top speed is. To see what the top speed is, what I want to start off doing is keeping the boat all the way trimmed down. That's when we're going to put the most pressure on the motor. That's when we're going to find if it hit, misses, spits, sputters, pops, or falls on its face. Then we're going to trim up, let the whole boat come up on top of the water. Be sure to refer down the description below if you're interested how to operate, tilt, and trim. It explains all that. So we'll trim up and find our top speed. So let's go. Got your seatbelt on, Bill?
Right.
I like that footrest for a short guy. So, into gear. Let's get her going straight. Accelerate. Oh yeah, it's got good punch. Oh, it hops right up. Look at that. It literally just hops right up on the plane. So go ahead and slow down so we can kind of cruise a little bit. So we're actually over 40 mile an hour at 3,500 RPM. I talk about that a lot, that you can tell that a boat's powered well if your speed is relatively similar to your revolutions per minute, and that's where we are right now. So let's go ahead and slow down because we can cruise a lot slower than this. The boat planes so nicely. And remember, we are trimmed down. Right between 2,800 and 3,500 RPM, we have our IAC whistle. So we can kind of hear that a little bit. But right now we're running basically mid-20s, and we are nice and flat. And if the water was extremely rough, this would be a great cruise speed. Let's go ahead and turn back around. Boat turns nice and smooth. You know, it's power steering. Look how it banks, which is excellent for water sports. All right, now let's go. Hat on backwards, check. Use a view of our boat. It's amazing. This thing really handles the chop with ease. Really feels like it grabs the water, and it's a solid hull. So we're going to push it harder. So keep in mind, we are trimmed all the way down. So 4,000 RPM, 45 miles an hour. It's absolutely holding true. It's not missing. Popping, spitting, sputtering. So now we're going to trim up. 1, 2. Look at our speed increase. I mean, this is a big boat to hit. I don't think we'll hit 50. We are going to hit 50, and the thermostat isn't even opened up. 50 miles an hour, about right there is good. About right around an 8. Right here, I can kind of feel it starting to give a little bit. So that means that's as high as we want to trim up. The boat runs absolutely solid. So I'm going to give the camera back to Bill here. So this SL262 4-winds, when powered by the big block and the dual prop drive, runs extremely well. It's very easy to dock, drive, and maneuver. I would definitely remind you to trim down when you make a hard turn. Other than that, the boat runs excellent. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, I seriously love how comfortable the seats are, how plush the interior is. It's just a gorgeous, classy boat. We're going to go put her back on trailer and take you with us. Boat just likes to run 40 miles an hour. It just likes that speed. It's just so calm and flat right here. And it's at 3,500 RPM, which gives you a good fuel burn to run 40. It's kind of wild, really. Once you get over 3,500 RPM in any boat, that's when it really sucks fuel. So the fact that you can run 40 at 3,500 RPM is really incredible. Now, we're gonna put it on the trailer. So, once you have your plug in, you just back the boat in the water in terms of launching it until you see the rear end float. Once it floats, you know you're good. Putting it on the trailer, this is what causes divorces. And I feel like 99% of the time the reason for that is people get the trailers too deep in the water. This trailer's made for this boat. You see how we can barely see the front guide bunks out of the water. So since the trailer's made for the boat, all we're gonna do is get the middle in the middle, and it's gonna go in the right spot. You can't get it crooked, but if the trailer's way down here and the boat's floating, it's only gonna get on right by the grace of God. I need to quit running my mouth, we're drifting. The water is somewhat shallow here. Well, no, it's deeper than I thought. So our depth finder did pick up. We're gonna trim up 2-3 clicks just to make sure we don't touch that skag. Run her aground. But we got our V and the V of our bunks here, just like that. So this is another part that drives me crazy. You see people boat ramp and you hear them going, rom, rom, just hammer down on the throttle. That's what I call herky-jerky. It gets people hurt, makes my kids fall over. So I just want to use slow, steady, applied throttle, and we're just gonna go right up onto the trailer. So engage into gear, just nice and easy, nice and easy. We're just increasing our throttle pressure. That's all there is to it. Once you have it on the trailer, trim it all the way up, get the outdrive out of the water. Remember, if you turn your key off, the gauge quits working. So it'll scream. When it's trimmed all the way up, it goes, ah! That means let me go. Get it out of the water, turn the battery switch off, and take your plug out. Thanks for riding with us.